Hey everyone, Mike here. We're going to continue with mastering the draw. If you haven't seen the first video, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's not on my YouTube channel. It accidentally got deleted off my phone. You can go watch it on Facebook though. It'll just be called Mastering the Draw from the Strong Side Hip. The first video, we went over the 6 fundamental steps. I also showed you a little improvement that you can do from a traditional style pertaining to the grip to speed up the process. The second video we talked about speeding up driving the gun onto target. And today, for the third video, part 3, for mastering the draw, we're going to talk about the trigger. How to best place your finger on the trigger, when to place your finger on the trigger to allow for the most efficient, effective, fastest, most accurate, everything you can think of with your shot. So, with the draw, we have our grip, pull, rotate, join, driving the gun out to extend and engage the threat. Now, if you watched the video before, you probably didn't see my finger go on until I was out here. You need to memorize, become muscle memory, your trigger press. The press as to when the trigger breaks. Okay? So, as soon as the gun comes up, and this is the fundamental tip that I'm going to teach you guys, for not only for like competition shooting, target practice, but also defensive shooting. You have to have trigger finger discipline. You have to, in order to be safe and effective. So, once we're up here, as soon as my hands join, my finger drops into the trigger. That's why I stress initially to drop that elbow and keep it on target. Because in a defensive shooting situation, you might go like this and have to engage a threat. As soon as you're joining, you might not even get to join. You might be there. That's why this left hand is on the chest. You might go there and have to engage a threat. A lot of threats happen really close. There's a lot of attacks. So we're here, we're joining, the finger's going on the trigger at the same time. Now, where you get your speed, as you're driving that firearm out, you're taking up, let's say, the slack, you're pulling the trigger back already. It's not a slap at the end. You want to avoid that. You need to learn how much trigger travel you have and where the trigger breaks. And you can practice that by doing this. Using that reset. Okay, just over and over and over to where you know how much pressure it takes to break that trigger. So what you're going to do is, as you join, guns parallel, fingers on the trigger, you're pressing the trigger, pulling the trigger back as you're pressing the gun out, and as soon as you hit the sweet spot, so the sweet spot for me, once I hit right there, the gun's going to fire. Now to determine that sweet spot, it has a lot of things. It's a lot about alignment of the firearm onto your target and body positioning. So I shoot predominantly instinctive. The only time I usually use my sights if it's beyond 15 yards. Whether it's I'm speed shooting, it does not matter. Within 15, I do what you would call point shooting or instinctive shooting. I have guns without the sights for that specific training method. You don't have to shoot that way. But basically, as you're pressing out and your finger on the trigger, you're going to finish your trigger pull once your sights are aligned or once you're instinctive to where you're on that target. So as I fall in, as soon as I hit my point, for me my body drops, my head stays the same but my body drops, the gun comes straight out, boom, as soon as I hit that point. And that's how you really practice it. You go here, boom. And you can do that over, and over to where, and you can stand straight up and do it. You don't have to do a bunch of squats, but it just has to become habit to when I hit my spot, boom. Okay? And it's just over and over. Now, it's obviously faster because you've included 2 steps, the trigger press and the presentation on target, the drive of the firearm onto target. Okay, the reason a lot of people don't do that and they're slower and they're not as accurate is because they slap the trigger. They drive it out and then they slap the trigger and they pull shots down. You have to do it as one consistent motion. It's actually easier, I think. And you don't, we'll talk about the last step, which is going to be follow through and the tips. But always remember, trigger finger should be placed, the trigger should be placed between the tip of the finger and the first joint. A lot of people make that mistake. So your hand should ideally look like that. And you're pulling straight back. You're not rolling. Tip of the finger, first joint, press straight back. But anyways, that's the process. From here, practice drawing. You'll see me with my hands up as a fighting stance. If someone's coming at me, most likely I'm going to be like, hey, back off. It could be there. I might not even get this hand back, but practice enough. I'm not like this. A lot of people will draw. They'll do that. You can practice that. But to me, I'm most likely, hey, calm down, whoa, whoa. Creating distance before I draw my firearm. But we can do both ways. You can put hands here, hands here, hands here. You can go hands behind your back. It doesn't matter. Once you grab that gun, everything else should be the same. So that was the tip for you guys. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned. I think I have 2 more videos within mastering the draw. We're really breaking it down to each individual step. So look out for those. Have a great night.